my name is Jack Walker, and you probably know that already because you're on my page, and you might be on the Lux Intus Records page as well. And tonight I am joined by the illustrious Markus Mudd. How you doing, Markus?
I'm doing well. Thank you, sir.
Excellent.
Good to be here.
Excellent. Markus is one of Lux Intus's first signed artists, and he has a single coming out on Saturday at 12:01 a.m. It'll be available on all streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this this project came to be? The name of the song is Too Far, mm-hmm. and you had a co-writer, right?
I do. His name is Pepe Cardona. He's from a band called Alive and Kickin'. They had a hit out back in the 70s. I befriended him many, many years ago. He has since passed, so he was a very dear friend, but he passed away during COVID. He had a band that I used to go see, and I used to look up to this guy, and I was a big fan of his. And I was so surprised that we got involved in writing together at the beginning of the 2000s, and the beginning of the millennium. Mm-hmm. And we started to. I was so honored that he saw me in my band at the time, a band called Lovelace. It was a top 40 dance band. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how we met. We kind of crossed paths that way, and we started. We hooked up. Started out doing a remake of his song, more of a modern remake. I did a reggae version of the song. We did a rock and roll version, and just trying to, he was looking at me to kind of hip it up a little bit because had a younger vibe. It was I was trying to play producer with him, and he did all the singing. I did all the music, and we did several versions of Tighter, Tighter, and we brought it to. We brought it to some people. We had like a bit of a record deal going on. We had a little bit of a production record deal going on with it. But nothing came about, and but we Tommy James from Tommy James and the Shondells wrote the song, so we actually brought our remakes to Tommy James, and he loved it. He thought it was great. He was still friendly with Pepe, but he was working on his comeback at the time, so. He was more involved with that, but he liked all our versions. He actually took one of the versions. I believe he put it into his show. It sounds like one of our versions. He kind of did a remake of Tighter, Tighter 2 in his show. So then Pepe and I started working on original music, other music together, because we got along so well, and we kept writing. And we did a bunch of songs, and this song Too Far was one of them. He sang it back in the early 2000s, and we just basically it sat on the shelf until recently, and I listened to it, and after he passed, I was feeling kind of emotional, and I felt like it'd be great if I could try to do the song, kind of a little bit of a dedication to him, and I came up with it in a different key because he had a very high voice, so I did it, and I did a version of it. It's kind of an alternative rock sort of version, and I did it at my home studio. Felt like it needed more, a little more professional touch, so I brought it to Jack Walker, and Jack Walker turned it into something I could actually put on the social media and put it out into the real world. I couldn't believe the improvement you made to this song. Crazy.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Someday, if it ever becomes really famous, I'll be famous before and after. People are interested in ever hearing it.
Sure. What
you did to it, sure. But so it sounds like it's really ready to go.
Excellent.
Never thought that would happen.
And with that is also something to do with a record deal that you're getting as well.
Tell me more.
I'll tell you more about the record deal because I haven't written up the contract yet. It's a very artist friendly record deal. So basically, You've got Sony level distribution through Modern Voices distribution. I had signed my record label with them, so now we get lots of
Backup.
lots of reach.
Jack, tell Mark what he's won.
Tell Marcus what
New
he's won.
car.
Have a record deal with Lux Intus.
Lux Intus Records and
Under Sony.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome. So
Yeah, that's what you deserve, man. And
thank you.
the song itself, the lyrics, they stay with me. Obviously, I recognize all of the lyrics that you've penned, and just how every line was done with care and placed there with intention, so that the storyline of the actual music video that we shot would come through. Tell us a little bit about that.
The storyline.
Oh, the film, how your filming went, your storyline, and where it ended up.
Okay. So it's a very it's a anti-war, pro-environment kind of a song, and we have it's a very serious kind of song, and it ends. You hear it throughout the whole song that there's a lot of we're trying to send a message. At the end, it ends on a happy note, but during the song, it's pretty intense. So we had a videographer that I was working with before I met you, who felt like should I talk about this one? Have we dragged me through the best page part?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You went for a drag instead of a walk.
He took me. He said, "Yeah, I got a great idea. I think we want to show the intensity of the moments and how where the world is at, and the war. And so I want to take you, and I want to look like I'm dragging you on the streets." So I said, "Okay, it sounds good. I'm figuring special effects. We'll do whatever. We'll make it look like I'm getting dragged." He literally dragged me on the streets. He put me on a special. I was on a little dolly kind of thing.
Oh, boy.
But I kind of scratched the street, and I ended up with my broken fingernails
you
and
hurt
blood,
yourself.
and I actually put my real labor of love into this project. So you were saying the same thing. You were like, "Wow, you looks like you were really getting dragged." I really was. So
Blend for your art.
yeah. So there's a kind of there's some intense scenes in it. I think that's what you liked it too. When you saw the those couple of clips, you liked it. You wanted to use that's the only thing you used in the video, because you redid the video completely, and did a fantastic job. But you just took those couple of clips I gave you, and you ran with it, and it's really a magnificent video. And there's other scenes of it where I'm playing a solo, and there's burning buildings in the background, and
Post-apocalyptic horror show.
yes.
I mean, this is a perfect segue. Let's look at just a sample. How about that?
Oh, that's great.
I mean, serious business here we're talking about.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of terrifying, beautiful, horrific, and real. And as a very wise yogini once told me, healing generally isn't very pretty. So some would argue that the world is currently going through a healing period where it needs to grow and it needs to evolve to a new place, because obviously what served us in years past no longer serves us. Do you agree with that or anything?
Absolutely agree with you 100%. And with everything from, of course, turning on the TV and seeing the suffering that's going on in these wars around the world, to every time I try not to pick up a bottle of water and know that plastic is going to end up someplace, in the sea or whatever, and this giant plastic island floating around, and in the as we all know, in the Pacific, and all that, it just bombards me every single day. And you're right, it's something. Some big changes have to be made, to all that. So that's all encompassed, I believe, in this song. We kind of hit all that,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a wake up call song, kind of.
Do you find when you write any music, does it all come at once, or is it something that happens in stages?
I feel most of the time with the songs I hear the song, I hear the chorus first, and with the music, I hear it in my head, and it just comes out. Those are the best songs I've written. It sounds. I don't mean to sound like I've written a lot of great songs.
This is your podcast, bro. You can go to town.
I can. Well, sound a little pretentious here, but no. I mean that's And then the songs that I've labored over, like trying to finish them up, trying to get a work. Those are the ones that aren't as good, of course.
Yeah.
So I absolutely feel this was, and Pepe felt the same way. We used to talk about this song. We always said this song has to do something. Can I mention the fact that it was in a movie to this song, or I can mention that?
What?
The Too Far was in the end of a movie.
Oh, it was the end of the film.
The end of a B movie.
Oh, great! Even better.
Yeah, it was.
B movies are the highest form of artistic expression.
All right.
Not A movies, not AAA movies. I don't care what movie it is. B movies are where it's at. Working directors, working actors,
love it,
and everyone who has a hand in producing will change very slightly the face of the actual product once it's the project once it's done. And I think that's wonderful. I think that shows this true collaboration.
Right.
Everyone from your makeup artist and Aaron McNeil and Dominic Esposito, who did most of the cinematography, and he was a fantastic cinematographer.
Right.
I've never run across a better one. I mean, as a director, I love to pick up cameras and I love to shoot things. But when you have a pro behind the camera who knows lights and who knows where to place a shot and how to properly get the right focal length and stuff, I mean, Dominic did a really spectacular job besides doing some of the visual effects.
Right.
For one reason or another, either it's green screen or it's been digitally altered to like paint out, I don't know, a guy dragging you across the street while you're bleeding from your fingers.
Bethpage Park on the gravel.
On the gravel. Yeah, on the street. And then once again in the White Room.
Right.
And doing that. But really, every single shot in this production is an effect shot, and I think that's really cool because you can't really tell.
Right.
I think all films they've figured out the special effects deal. So for your film, and I'm calling it a film because it does have a storyline. It has an A section, it has a B section, and then it has a very, very short but very, very poignant C section, which is what makes up any good film, is this 3-act format.
Right.
As far as where the music video starts and where it ends, how do you feel about your performance? Where was your head when you were performing this? I believe you pulled a Phil Collins and you recorded all this stuff by yourself in your home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a small studio. I have a small. It's a laptop and a couple of keyboard modules, and that's it in a room. And so yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I started working with Presonus Studio One. Mm-hmm. You helped me out figure it out. So I learned a lot of it from you. Thank you very much.
Anything.
And so that's been a fantastic experience. I love recording by myself and getting all the sounds. But getting back real quick to Dominic's studio, the green screen. I had no idea when we were filming that at his studio. we had fun, first of all, and you were like masterful at the way you were able to just orchestrate. There's a makeup person there. It was Dominic, and it was other people in the room. And you know, I'm looking. I have very little experience with all this, but there's a green screen up. I'm standing. You have these concepts, these ideas. You tell me do this, do that. No idea what this final, outcome would be like. It was amazing, what you pulled off. And I have no acting experience, and he made me like emotional, and Jack made me actually cry in the video. And there's only a little snippet of it. You know, it's not. You know, don't worry, you're not gonna see me crying, bawling, but like quick couple seconds, milliseconds, you see me tearing up, and it was amazing. I can't believe that you were able to pull that out of me. So that's astonishing, and so it's a lot of fun too, because it's an emotional song. So you needed that, and I understood that afterwards. Because you kind of said to me on the way to the studio, "Did you ever cry on camera before?"
Right.
And I'm like, what?
And that's one thing that a lot of inexperienced directors learn quickly is the capabilities of their actors, and the comfort level at which they're with their actors, and how far they can push them without causing them distress. Because ultimately, a director's job is not to hurt people.
Right.
It's just to make a really very convincing scene.
Right.
And you get to that at any way you can. So Erin, of course, brought glycerin with her, which is one of film techniques, oft unused ways of getting people to start the process of having an emotional
breakdown.
Yeah, but so coming into that, you took your first step into true acting because you were able to emote. Does that change now your songwriting and the way you approach your art?
I would say, yeah, I think so. There's a confidence I feel like I got after doing that. Well, at least with the video aspect of things, like, making another, I'm anxious to make another music video. So I can't wait for the next video. And we've already talked about it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to involve a graveyard. And so I'm so excited about that, and I feel like, well, I got that in my back pocket. He made me do that, and it looks compelling.
Right.
When you were telling me about it, I'm going, this guy's going to try to make me look like I'm crying. I'm emotional. It's never going to happen. That's what I was feeling, and then I saw what happened afterwards. Well, during the process was interesting too, because we were getting like, you were telling me to get emotional. You were making me yell and scream a little bit, at the point where we had to calm it down because it was getting too loud.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. So that was cool, and then I felt like it kind of gave me confidence from doing that I could do that and maybe pull that off, and maybe I can do it better next time. And so I got a little bit of the acting bug from that, and. Of course, the music, it's going to spill over to the music, too, I think.
Sure. Surely. Well, unless there's anything else that you would like to speak about, I think we've covered a really good portion of Too Far, Markus Mudd's persona. He is available on all streaming platforms and download platforms as of Saturday, with the exception of Spotify, who likes to wait a week. So if you like Spotify, you have to wait until the following Saturday. But you brought us, I have to point this out, out of my favorite glasses. Thank you very much, Mel. This is one of the fine individuals that I'm working with from the Recording Academy.
Oh my God!
You brought us some very interesting alcohol to try.
Oh, I did.
So it's just water. It's iced tea. It's not going to blow my doors off or anything like that. And that's probably that's just like food coloring in water.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's a Chardonnay fruit coloring.
Yep. Absolutely.
And yours is that...
is that darker, like iced tea kind of mint, standing on the side of like a pool wild water splashes.
Well, it's probably a relative's liquor company from you, right? It's Jack. It's Johnny Walker from Jack Walker
Right.
family. It's somewhere down the lineage, there's got to be a connection.
Oh, we're all alcoholics, apparently.
Yes.
On my father's side, because it's Jack Walker, so it's Jack Daniels, and it's Johnny Walker, so it's it's Jack Walker.
That's Johnny Walker.
So Johnny Walker,
Double black.
in my Melgo hard glass. So I'm going to enjoy a glass of this, and I'm going to toast you, Mark, and to your continued success as Markus Mudd. Markus, you continue to write and perform and do all kinds of fabulous music, and I'm sure your listeners are going to be grateful as you do it. So here's to you, bro. Cheers, and
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jack Walker. Smoky?
Smoky would be putting it lightly. Oh,
Great.
wow. Peat.
Yeah? What do you
Notes of peat. Notes of... Wow, this is delicious.
Good.
I haven't gone this dark. I
Great.
think the closest I ever went this way was single malt was Glen Rothes, the peat one, the one that they do upstream of in Scotland,
Right.
where the water is and you can taste the earth. Basically, it's basically like drinking dirt.
This podcast is going to turn into like a liquor tasting.
The ruination has begun. You and I are both drinking, and we deserve it.
Just part.
The reason why I say the hair, excuse me. Let me be a little more focused.
Before we go on,
No.
would I be able to stop and
You have to
go to bed?
Yeah, absolutely. Take a break. Go for it.
You can put that in. You can keep that in if you
Yeah,
want.
that's fine. Hey, man, we're all human beings. We all need to do stuff.
Hey, you got to go to. You got to go. You got
Sometimes
to
you gotta
go.
use the restroom. You know? This is no joke. This podcast is in part sponsored by Melgo Hard. I don't know that she generally drinks liquor out of these glasses. It's probably more water and such. But man, does it hold a mean shot.
There's a multifaceted podcast going on here, huh? We got music and we got liquor.
We got booze. Well, you brought the booze.
I know. I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
My fault. So you really like it though?
It is extremely, extremely smoky. I need to eat dinner before I even consider having another sip of that because it's going to obliterate me. Thank you very much.
Good.
So that's not bad.
Good.
It's not a bad thing. Not like some magic wand that we wave and change the entire world. Or maybe we will. We'll have to see. We'll know better on March 27th?
29th. This Saturday.
29th. Why did I think it was the 27th?
So excited.
I wanted to release 2 days early. That's how excited I am.
Right. You did want to release it sooner, yep. And I just said, maybe 2 more days.
2 more days.
It's the weekend. I come working. I got to do this. I got to do that.
That's true. You
So,
I
I actually postponed a vacation right now that I'm supposed to be on with my wife to do this publicity and to do podcasts. And tomorrow we might do another podcast, a radio show tomorrow, WGBB. This week we're going to be doing that, and then hopefully, after it gets released, we want to continue to do this.
Absolutely.
Because again, it's a message to the song, and I think along with the song itself, it's going to affect a lot of people. I feel.
Beautiful.
I believe.
Beautifully said, Markus. Once again, Markus Mudd joined in the studio with just some raw talent that became super, super fine and super, super awesome, and
Thank you, man.
really needed it. So I think the world needs it too. So kiss your loved ones, kiss your pets, and be blessed. And Markus, have you on the show again, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Peace and love, my
friend.
brother. Absolutely.
The best.